Hey guys, how's it going? It's Arit here. In this video, I wanted to share something that I heard and then I actually put into action recently, and it's been quite amazing. It's been very helpful for me in terms of self-growth and eliminating self-doubt. Well, not eliminating it, but quieting, silencing self-doubt at times, and just overall improving confidence in myself. And it started when I heard, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tom Bilyeu, but he is the host of a show called Impact Theory on YouTube, and he interviews various entrepreneurs, successful leaders, that sort of thing. And I really love his show. I love the way he interviews and that sort of thing. So I watched this video. He was interviewing another Tom, Tom Ferry, and this guy was quite successful in terms of building a real estate empire and team. So he was interviewing him, and he talked about how he used to attach his self-esteem to how much money he made. So in business, when he was grinding for 6 to 8 years straight, we're always told, keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. But in that journey, there's just so many things that come up in terms of self-doubt and, not feeling like you are where you want to be. You want to be making more money, all that kind of stuff, not reaching certain goals. All of these goals that are long-term, will take a long time to achieve, and you're in it no matter what. But you're still feeling this way, right? So he was just kind of describing the way that he was feeling during those 6 to 8 years, and how he kind of felt like, those feelings of self-doubt, disappointment, and frustration because he wasn't making the amount of money that he wanted to. And through meditation and self-awareness and all of this, this personal development that he was also experiencing at the time, he realized that he was attaching his self-esteem to the dollar amount, the figure that his business would make every year. And because of that, his self-esteem would plummet. He would lose confidence in himself. He would feel badly about himself because he didn't make the amount of money that he was making at the time. And he said when he realized that, it was quite easy for him to shift perspectives and to make a change because he realized that he was attaching his self-esteem to something that was out of his control. So yes, to a certain amount of extent, you control how your business succeeds and the amount of money you make, but it's not entirely like he was attaching his self-esteem to success in general, the success of his business. And there are just so many variables and so many factors involved in that it kind of can be out of control, out of your hands at times, because there's so many variables involved in that. So he actually made that decision at that moment to attach his self-esteem to something that is in his control. And he used a growth factor, like he used a certain way that he can judge his own growth, and he attached his self-esteem to that. So anyways, my big takeaway from this video was attach your self-esteem to something that is in your control, something that you judge, nobody else. Not something that is dependent on a zillion other variables or factors, but something that you judge that is in your control completely. When I heard this, I realized that specifically in my music career, I would always attach my self-esteem to other people's opinions or lack thereof. So even when I didn't even receive any comments or nothing, or even if that person didn't say anything, I would perceive it as bad. So whether they said something or not, I would still perceive it as bad, and I would take that upon myself. I would absorb that into my self-esteem, and it's toxic. It's so harmful. I can't control what other people say or think about me or my music, so why on earth am I using that as a variable to judge who I am as an artist, as a music artist? So that was a big aha moment for me. I would be so obsessed with receiving validation from other people that it would affect belief in myself. It would affect how I thought about myself. I really craved this validation of other people letting me know, hey, you're really talented, or hey, you have a great voice, or just sort of any sort of compliment I could get. I would take all of those in, and that would be the judge of whether or not I thought of myself as a good artist. And that's just terrible. That's just, it's so weird to talk about it out loud, because all of these things, just these thought processes just kind of happen in the peripherals, but they really, really affect the way that you think on a day-to-day basis. So after I realized that I was attaching my self-esteem to something that is completely out of my control and something that is just so absurd, I decided that moment, after listening to this video, that I would change that. I would change the way I thought about myself as an artist, and the way that I would do that was by attaching my self-esteem to something that is within my control. And when I say self-esteem, I mean like the way that you think about yourself, the way that you judge yourself. So I would attach that. I decided to attach that onto something else that is completely within my control, and that is growth of myself as an artist. I decided that I would be the judge of how I grow as an artist, and to see that amount of growth increase would be reward for me, to let me know that I am developing myself as an artist, and I feel like, I have belief in myself. Because I realized that my expectations of other people would drag me down, and it's not right for me to set up those expectations when I'm not in control. I'm not in control of, like I said, who likes my music, who likes me, of what people think about me. So if I want to set myself up for success, then I need to use something that I control. I need to choose a variable that I can control, and that will be the judge of my growth as an artist. That will be the judge of how I see myself and how I judge my own success. Because attaching your self-esteem and the way that you see yourself to something that is completely out of your control is a recipe for failure and a lot of disappointment, hardship, depression, anxiety, self-doubt, all of that stuff. So when I started to think about myself on my terms, so my terms was, how much have I grown as an artist? When I started to think about myself in those terms, I started to feel really good about myself and really good about my progress as an artist. And because I remember the time when I I remember the very first time I sang in front of someone. I remember the very first time I performed in front of an audience. Voice cracking all over the place, super timid, could not move beyond the confines of this space. Like, I was afraid to express myself on stage and to connect with people. And now I see myself now, super comfortable, feeling really in my skin on stage. I feel like when I'm singing and performing, I feel like I am home. A complete 180. I feel like this is me. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am meant to be right here in this moment, singing on stage to you, the audience. And it's just it's a huge amount of growth, right? A huge amount of growth, performance-wise, voice-wise, and knowledge-wise. Like, my skill set has also grown. My audience has grown. Just so, anyways, the whole point here is to take a habit, a thought pattern that is not serving you well, and that is affecting how you judge yourself, and to change it, to just attach your self-esteem, attach the way you see yourself to something else, to a variable that is in your control, not to someone else's opinion, not to how successful you are, because that also has a ton of variables in it. It's not something clear cut, or that can be 100% in your control. And so once you've done that, the journey, and for me, this is where I'm at right now, the journey is to continue catching yourself when you have those moments of self-doubt, when you have those moments where you're not feeling totally at your ideal, like you fully believe in yourself and what you're doing in your craft. Catch yourself in those moments and come back to that variable that you set, and say, hey, I have grown so much. I have progressed. And I can't wait to see how I will grow more in the future. I can't wait to see where I will be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So I just wanted to share that with you because it's really, really been a shift for me, and has really helped change my perception and the way that you think about yourself is how others will see you. Even though it might not seem like that, it really, everything that goes on in your mind, consciously and subconsciously, comes out on a daily basis in your actions, in what you say, in how you interact with people, in your work. It's a ripple effect. So the sooner you're able to take care of what's in here, and specifically to address those moments of self-doubt, address those moments of lack of belief in yourself, the sooner you take care of that, the better your external circumstances will turn out. So that's my Mind Thrive video for today, guys. Let me know what you thought about this. What are your thoughts? Share them with me in the comments section below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more good stuff coming your way. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Back from the dead.